Hello, and thank you for joining me here at Take Five with Vinay Five. Hey, that's me. I'm sure many of you have already seen the movie Hidden Figures, and you may have already seen this clip. These women who worked for NASA were called human computers. I'm sure among other things, but that was a positive slant abilities, their mathematical and mechanical abilities. Watch this clip and be re-inspired.
Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson were at the center of it all. Three African-American women working as mathematicians at NASA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. They were actually called human computers by NASA officials, and their skills changed the space program forever. Johnson did the math that put John Glenn into orbit and helped make this possible.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What is the backstory of how the story itself surfaced?
Margot Lee Shetterly, who wrote the book Hidden Figures, grew up, her dad was an engineer at NASA. They were looking through pictures and there was this small group of African-American women in one of the photographs, and she said, "Who are these women?" And her dad told her, and then realized that nobody knew about the contributions that these women had made to the space program. And she wrote a 54-page proposal that ended up on Donna Gelati's desk. And the rest is history.
President Obama gave Katherine the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2015. Many of them are now, thanks to this film, are being recognized. Janelle, describe what Mary was like and a little bit of her backstory for me.
Mary was a fighter. She was a leader. Not only was she genius, and not only was she such a champion for all of the women around her, her sisters and friends, she wasn't going to sit back idly and allow anyone to discriminate against her because of her gender or her race. So she fought.
If you were a white male, would you wish to be an engineer?
I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one.
Octavia, tell me a little bit about Dorothy.
Well, Dorothy Vaughan was also a brilliant mathematician, but she was mechanically inclined. Her dad taught her from an early age how to disassemble and reassemble any electronics. And at that time, IBM was a computer that basically would fill this room, and it had been commissioned by NASA to basically take the place of the women, but they couldn't get it to work. And Dorothy would sneak into the lab. She got it to work, and then she had the vision that once the machine started working, they would be out of jobs. So she taught herself to program it, and then taught all the other women at NASA to program it. So she really was the mother of the women who code movement.
What about Katherine?
I would say Katherine is a quiet storm. I think when you talk about someone who's mathematically inclined, they're calculating every move, their words, everything. That's how they think.
You think you can find me the Fernet frame for this data? Using the Graham-Schmidt?
Orthogonalization algorithm? Yes, sir. I prefer it over Euclidean coordinates. She, again, was above it all. That's the first thing I wanted to talk to her about. How did you feel with all those obstacles? You know, and she just, it didn't bother her. I don't know if I could do it.
Thank you for joining me here at Take Five with Vinay Five. Be blessed.